Hello everybody, I am back, but today I am back with a Lavagirl shoulder armor kind of tutorial-ish. So I'm going to go ahead and explain everything and then include everything that I used in the description below as always. So I actually started out by resizing a pattern from Lavagirl Cosplay. This is part of her shoulder armor patterns. I believe she has like arm patterns. I will include the direct link to purchase this pattern below. I actually ended up resizing it, took it in about 1 inch or so for my shoulder blades specifically, and I don't have a notcher, so I ended up using scissors to take off the little notchers here. I did just buy a notcher recently, so I'm going to start using that hopefully later on. And then I went ahead and put it flat on the corner of my EVA foam. This is 5mm EVA foam by Yaya Han. I got it at Joann's, and then I also went ahead and mirrored it afterwards. So as you can see, you're going to go ahead and use the correct side, and then you're going to mirror it, and you're going to actually do this twice as well. So afterwards, I went ahead and just cut in the inside of that Sharpie line with an X-Acto knife. As you can see, I also have my sheet underneath so I don't cut through my desk. And make sure you keep the little lines so you can actually line up your EVA foam afterwards. Be very careful with your sharp X-Acto knife. And I went ahead and did the same thing on the other side. And this could be either for right or left, doesn't matter, it's going to be exactly the same because you're using the same pattern, you're just mirroring it for 2 sides. Alrighty, now that I have those cut out, I am going to go ahead and trace out the other side. Like I said, as you can see, there's the correct side up, doing the same thing, trace, and then I'm going to flip it over to do the mirrored side. This will give us a full shoulder armor of each. Now to cut them out with my X-Acto knife once again, just be very, very, very careful. And also don't forget to save any scrap EVA foam you have for any future projects, or with this project specifically. Lavagirl does include many little areas that do need to be like just little splotches. Next, you're going to go ahead and grab your contact cement, and I actually put my contact cement in a little bottle. I blew on the contact cement a little bit to get it a little bit tacky, and then I started sticking it. Sometimes I kind of just stick it on each side just so the glue spreads on both sides, and then I start blowing on it a little bit so it gets tackier. And as you can see, it starts getting stickier as the process goes. If your EVA does not stick automatically, it is totally okay. It is not supposed to. You're supposed to kind of wait till the EVA gets a little bit tacky, and then you can actually start gluing it. So I'm doing the same thing with the other side, and this is going to take a lot of patience. I did not record the entire process of me holding the EVA, just because you are holding the EVA for quite a bit, and you're just trying to make sure that it stays stick. As you can see, it kind of starts separating. Alright, and now I'm actually going to go ahead and glue both sides together. And like I said, this is either for the right or left, doesn't really matter. And same thing, you actually want to use those little lines to line up your EVA. As you can see, it is nice and lined up once I get them together. And it is okay, this was my first time ever working fully with EVA. I had done EVA armor just like to put together before, but I had never painted it or anything. So for my first try, it came out really well. Also, as you can see, the little tip that I got out from building just one side of the shoulder straps, I actually ended up using that to spread the glue. So using any little EVA scrap fabrics to spread your glue is actually really awesome. It helped me out through the entire process, and I actually kept that little piece for future projects. So now that I got this little piece going, I'm actually going to use some quick seal in the middle, and then I'm actually going to spread it out with that little piece that I was talking about. It is okay to use quite a bit of quick seal, but I did notice that once you actually start sanding it, sometimes it doesn't want to get into the creases because sometimes the EVA doesn't glue all the way, and that's okay too. But using quick seal actually ends up sealing the opening a little bit more, and if you can sand it as flat as you can, it actually looks really good in the end once you apply paint. So I am just adding quick seal on all of the open areas, on top, on the sides, and on the bottoms. bottoms are people aren't really going to be able to see, so you don't really have to worry too much about the bottom being so pretty. The tops, yes, because you're going to be putting paint and other stuff right on top of them, so try to get them as flat as possible with the little EVA foam piece I'm talking about, and then also when we start sanding. So I am just drying them a little bit because quick seal is wet, and yeah, we're gonna get ready to go ahead and start sanding here pretty soon. Alrighty, so as you can see, I got it in all angles of the shoulder armor on both of them, and I'm just spreading it out evenly. Now I'm gonna go ahead and sand it out. You could use any type of sandpaper, just make sure it's not too rough. This was kind of like medium, it's just whatever I had on hand, and I tried to just sand off any of the big chunks of the quick seal, but I tried to maintain the quick seal in the actual creases because that's where I wanted that quick seal to actually go. If you know, quick seal is normally used like in bathrooms and stuff to cover up any holes, so yeah, you can actually buy this at like Home Depot or Lowe's. Alright, and just make sure that you get all the little stuff of the quick seal off once you're done sanding as well. As you can see, it's a little messy, so you're gonna have to make sure that you clean it up afterwards. And as always, I do apologize for the little bells in the background. My cats wear bells so we don't lose them, and my cat always likes to scratch herself or just jingle away when I'm doing videos. Alright, so now I'm doing Plasti Dip on both shoulder armors. You're going to Plasti Dip these very well. Plasti Dip is pretty much just plastic, and you want to actually do this so we can paint it and it's not absorbed. This is how they come out afterwards. Once the Plasti Dip is dried, we're actually going to go ahead and use molding EVA foam to actually create the domes / volcanoes that Lavagirl has on her shoulder pads. So, well, shoulder pads, shoulder armor. So you're just going to go ahead and mess around with this moldable foam. It does dry after a while, so just work with it. I put some contact cement in the middle of the dome, which is where they're gonna be, and just start molding them to a volcano shape, but a wider volcano shape. Use your fingers to just go ahead and mold it out completely until you feel comfortable. I did use the pictures as reference a lot, and for anybody that's curious about this foam actually dries a lot faster than it says in the instructions. It says you're supposed to leave it drying for like 12 hours or something, but it actually dried really quickly. So if you need to keep adding, just do it. Just try to make sure that you keep the bag that it comes in closed so it's not completely dry when you're using it. So there you go. As you can see, I'm molding it into like this little volcano shape, and because this was my first time working with it, there is like a little area that is left. Sometimes you can sand it off, but I was too scared that it was gonna sand off and then it wasn't gonna look good, so I just left it. You know, in the end, no one's gonna be really paying attention to the shoulder armor, they're gonna be paying attention to the entire cosplay, right? So like I said, for my first try, especially even using moldable EVA foam, that was awesome. So same thing, just putting some contact cement in the middle, and I'm molding the foam. As you can see, I'm like alright, so now I'm doing the other side here. Same thing, just by eye, I'm going what I think that it looks as most similar to the other one. The other one is right in front of me, so I'm kind of looking at it as a reference. And I bought this on Amazon, by the way. It is super awesome. I love it so much. And the color doesn't really matter. Like, it really doesn't, because you're going to end up plasti dipping it anyway. That's about it for the construction piece. Next, you're going to end up plasti dipping these, let them dry, and then next, stay tuned for the paint portion of the shoulder armor. See ya. Please like and subscribe. Bye!